This marks our first venture into the Wild West with the beloved spaghetti western genre. But how did Lucio Fulci fare in one of Italian cinema's most crowded and competitive subgenres? Next up, Massacre time. The film opens with Tom Corbett, played by Franco Nero, prospecting for gold when he receives a message from a family friend urging him to return home. Setting off on his journey, Tom arrives at the old family farm, only to discover it is being sold with no sign of his family anywhere. Travelling into town in search of answers, he soon encounters the feared Mr. Scott, the wealthy landowner who now appears to control the entire community. It doesn't take long to understand the atmosphere of fear hangs over the town. Tom witnesses a desperate family attempting to flee before their son is brutally murdered by Junior, Mr. Scott's sadistic and unhinged son. Eventually, Tom reunites with his brother Jeff, played by George Hilton, and their mother, both of whom are living under the oppressive shadow of the Scott family. What follows is a relentless series of confrontations in which Tom, his family and their allies are pushed to breaking point. After earning a reputation for himself during a memorable saloon brawl, Tom seeks a direct meeting with Mr. Scott. The encounter ends badly when Junior viciously beats him, leaving him bloodied and humiliated, with tensions reaching boiling point and a trail of bodies left in Scott's wake. Tom and Jeff finally decide that enough is enough. Together, the brothers set out to exact revenge on their tyrannical father and son. The film culminates in a large-scale showdown on the grounds of a sprawling estate. Bullets fly, bodies pile up, and under the scorching sun, the brothers make their final stand against the men who have terrorized their family and community. Whether justice ultimately prevails is something best left for the viewers to discover themselves. Released in 1966, Massacre Time represents an important early chapter in the career of Lucio Fulci. At the time, Fulci was primarily known for directing comedies, making this film a significant departure from his previous work. Packed with graphic violence, moments of genuine cruelty, and a surprisingly bleak tone, it serves as an early indication of the fascination with brutality that would later define much of his horror cinema. The screenplay was primarily written by Fernando De Leo, who had previously contributed to genre classics such as A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and A Pistol for Ringo. Massacre Time marked De Leo's first major solo writing credit. Fulci and Enzo D'Acqua also contributed to the script, with Fulci reportedly pushing for greater emphasis on violence. The original title was inspired by the novel Tempo di Massacre by Franco Enna. No discussion of the film would be complete without mentioning Franco Nero. Born in Italy on November 23, 1941, Nero has accumulated well over 200 acting credits across a career spanning more than 6 decades. He rose to international fame in the mid-60s with his iconic portrayal of Django, and quickly became one of the defining faces of the spaghetti western genre. Throughout the 1970s, he expanded his range with appearances in films such as The Fifth Chord, Street Law and The Visitor, effortlessly moving between westerns, giallo and polizzi, and other corners of Italian exploitation cinema. His career would later extend far beyond cult cinema, with roles in major productions including Die Hard 2, Cars, John Wick Chapter 2 and Django Unchained. Few actors have navigated so many genres while maintaining such an enduring screen presence. Nero remains one of the true icons of European genre filmmaking. Backed by a fantastic soundtrack, a strong cast of charismatic performers, stunning locations and confident cinematography, Massacre Time remains a highly entertaining entry in the spaghetti western canon. The violence is impactful, the atmosphere is compelling, and the film's influence can still be felt within the genre today. More importantly, it serves as an essential stepping stone in Fulci's development as a filmmaker, foreshadowing the uncompromising style that would later make him a legend of horror cinema. Simply put, Massacre Time is an excellent western, and one that deserves far more recognition than it often receives. Whether you're a fan of spaghetti westerns, Lucio Fulci, or Italian genre cinema in general, it comes highly recommended. Dust off your cowboy hat, the Wild West is waiting. A quick piece of trivia: the film was released under the alternate title The Brute and the Beast in the United States, while UK pre-cert VHS releases often used the title Cult Concert. The film also marked the beginning of Fulci's relationship with the Western genre. He would later return to it with Silver Saddle and the cult favourite For the Apocalypse, completing an informal trilogy of westerns spread across his career. Here we have Massacre Time, released by Arrow Video. This is it was a part of a spaghetti western box set. They've released 3, probably past 5-6 years they started releasing them, and like I said, they've released 3 at this point. Not too sure which box set this came in. I know the first and third box set contain a Lucio Fulci spaghetti western. I have a feeling this one might have been the first box set, but yeah, like I said, I grabbed the box sets mostly for these Fulci films. This was first time watch, just finished watching it about an hour ago, and I've stated before that I'm not the biggest western fan, but when it comes to spaghetti westerns, I mean, everything that I've seen I've absolutely loved. Good, Bad and the Ugly is one of my all-time favourites. Django is incredible. I love Kioma. So really, you know, it's a subgenre that I really need to get into, because everything I've seen I've loved, and this is no exception. Yeah, absolutely had a blast with this. Runtime flew by, didn't drag at all. Great characters, fun dialogue, some, you know, really cool action-packed set pieces, quite graphic in places, a lot of violence, beautifully shot as well. I mean, again, with any Fulci film, but especially from the 60s and 70s, his cinematography is just out of this world. Absolutely stunning. The locations, you know, are just, yeah, just jaw-dropping at times. Franco Nero, I mean, he's the absolute man in everything that he's in. He is Django. My first exposure to Franco Nero was probably Die Hard 2, aka the best Die Hard. I know that's going to probably ruffle some feathers, but yeah, but I mean, he's quality and everything, you know. He's just a pleasure to watch, and he did a bunch of these spaghetti westerns, and then he you know, he ended up doing a lot of Polizei films, I believe. And then yeah, in the 90s he had a bit of a comeback in American cinema, it seemed like, turning up in stuff like Die Hard 2, and, you know, quite recently stuff like John Wick 2. So yeah, I mean, he's brilliant in this. And his brother in the film, played by George Hilton, was a lot of fun as well. Throughout the film, he's very he likes to booze, but it kind of plays into, you know, he almost needs it to perform, in a sense. And yeah, he was great. He was a lot of fun as well. They really bounced off each other. So yeah, I mean, strong cast all around. But yeah, this is the Arrow Video Blu-ray. It's not had a single release yet, which is a shame. I kind of would have thought that, considering they've released 2 Fulci spaghetti westerns in these box sets, there's part of me that thinks they could have just packed those 2 together in a box set and released that, and I think that would have done just as well. Like I say time after time, anything Fulci, I believe, would, you know, you wouldn't really have issues when it comes to shifting. And like I said, I think if they did a nice box set of his 2 more well-known spaghetti westerns, I think that would have done really well. But anyway, This is the Blu-ray release. It's a slim case. Like I said, each box set contained 4 films, but we've got special edition contents, high definition Blu-ray 1080p presentation, 2K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative by Arrow Films with both Italian and English front and end titles, restored original lossless mono Italian and English soundtracks, English subtitles for the Italian soundtracks, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing for the English soundtrack, alternate US dub, audio commentary by authors and critic C. Courtney Joyner and Henry Park, Two Men Alone, a documentary featuring a video interview with actor Franco Nero, an archival video interview with actor George Hilton, The Era of Violence, a video interview with film historian Fabio Malelli, Italian trailer, an image gallery. And it seems to be don't actually have the region on this, so I'm not too sure if it's region 3 or just region B locked. But open it up, we've got the hard-boiled postcard, another film I absolutely love. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'll get around to doing that. Got disc art, nice disc art, and then the alternate cover. Again, it's quite nice, but I do prefer the cover that the film comes packed in. I believe it's that cover. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I had an absolute blast with it. You know, highly recommend it. I watched the English dub, and I thought that was fine. No issues with that. Audio was perfect. Same with the image quality. You know, it was a stunning transfer. And again, I believe it's one of those films where it doesn't, to my recollection, hasn't had like, you know, a plethora of releases over the years. So when this came out, I remember it kind of being like a, oh yeah, you know, definitely jump on that. And yeah, I mean, this was a great first time watch. Really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to watching For the Apocalypse now. I think that's his more well-known one out of the two. I believe that one gets a bit more love from fans. Probably a bit more violent, I believe. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Considering this came out in 1966, I mean, like I said, there was a huge run of spaghetti westerns from that time period. Obviously, you had the Man with No Name trilogy, and yeah, there was everyone was kind of getting into it in the, you know, mid to late 60s, and then going on into the early 70s with stuff like Keoma. Obviously, Django was thrown into the mix, so you know, there you had a lot, and you see a lot of the same faces pop up in each film. And I mean, people like Franco Nero was just, yeah, he was all over the scene at the time, and you can understand why. He has great screen presence, he has a great look to him. You know, he can carry anything. I mean, he just looks like the man. Not being hugely, you know, kind of traverse into this area, but I imagine with just how many was coming out, it's probably quite hard to stand out from the crowd. And I think Massacre Time, you know, does that. Like I said, it's quite violent, especially for the mid-60s. And yeah, it was just it was a fun ride from start to finish. So definitely recommend it. I would love to see it get you know, like a single Blu-ray release, so you're not forced into buying those box sets. But I'm definitely going to go and watch the other films from those box sets, because like I said, I've not been let down by the spaghetti western. so that'd be interesting. But yeah, it would have been nice if this got, you know, a dedicated standalone release. Same with For the Apocalypse, or like I said, a, you know, box set. Putting both films together would have been nice, but I'm just pleased that we've got it. Arrow always does a great job, so you can count on them to deliver. And yeah, they definitely delivered with this. Can't recommend it enough, really. So yeah, that's Massacre time. Next week, like I said, I'm trying to kind of, you know, maybe release 2 videos a week at this point, just because just how many films are in this series. So I'm going to try and do that. So next week, probably be looking at one of Fulci's earlier giallos, maybe Lizard and Woman's Skin. Might try and knock that one out. And then I'm thinking maybe Demonia as well. 2 films I've never watched. I've had in the collection for years at this point, so it'd be nice to get through those. You know, quite contrast. You know, early in his horror type career, and then one, you know, near the end. So yeah, look out for those. I do have something else planned that will probably be coming out over the next month. You know, a start of a trilogy of videos not relating to Lucio Fulci. Just wanted to change it up a little bit because, like I said, when I started this, obviously I knew there was going to be a lot of films, but yeah, probably didn't expect quite so many that I would end up talking about. So, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, you know, for the most part, it's been, yeah, hit after hit. So yeah, keep an eye out for 2 more Fulcis next week, and then something special over the next month. So hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and take care.